Um, Henry, congratulations. First day at the office, how has it been like?
Oh, I think it was very calm. I enjoyed the atmosphere. I arrived at the FA very early in the morning. Moved straight to my boss's office, that is the general secretary. Then he introduced me to the other staff members. I was put on their various staff platforms, and then later to the communications department where I met my team. It was very cordial. I spent a few minutes to share my vision with them, told them what I expect from them, also gave a hint as regards the way forward and how I want to run the department. I shared my immediate plan, a mid-term plan, and then maybe the long-term vision with them. And I also give them the opportunity to make inputs. And so what I have done is that going forward, I have told them that we will meet on daily basis to plan for the week or to plan for the day. And then I will make sure that there is always that dialogue and chemistry. Once you are able to build that and you create that enabling environment, they will not be intimidated whatsoever, and they will also contribute to the progress of the work.
So, what were some of the immediate mid-term and long-term plans you shared?
Well, one of the things I want to do is to make the department more visible. And by making the department more visible, it means we must use our communication channels. Our social media platforms have to be very, very vibrant. I think it's already doing well, but there should be that upgrade. The website, the official communicator of the FA, must also be up and doing. I realize that certain things, don't really sit well. I don't understand why the website is not video friendly, and it's not gallery friendly, and it's also not mobile friendly. So immediately I commissioned the postman to speak with the website developer. I have a meeting with him on Wednesday. I want to discuss the possibility of changing the interface of the website to make it more video friendly, and then also I want to create a system where people can also make an input when they see the stories on the FA website. And that's the only way you can gauge feedback, and that's the only way we can also receive input and relevant information from the public and those who visit the website. I also want to give a certain brand identity to the Ghana Premier League. I think there is a lot to do, a lot of work to be done. Straight away, I spoke with the president, and what we want to do is to get an official song for the Premier League. This song will be played across the league centers every weekend, and I'm sure it will also lead our promotions for the league activities. Another thing is that I want us to lead the way. I want us to show the way. So I expect my department to preview games, review games, be more visible. I don't understand why we cover our league games, but aside the games that are broadcasted by the official partner, we don't get to see the goals scored from the other league centers. It's something that has to be done, and is one of my immediate plans that I really want to roll out.
One thing you talked about was the GFA website being the official communication channel of the Ghana Football Association. We were made to understand that Dan Kweku Yeboah, who was created a website for the Ghana Premier League. Have you seen that website? Would you consider using that website?
Well, I spoke to the Deputy General Secretary, Alex Asante, yesterday. I want to have a meeting with him. Yes, I have seen the website. Before my arrival, the president had already engaged Dan Kweku Yeboah. The only challenge is that the domain name was cast in stone. I don't know if I may have to engage the IT experts if it is possible to change the domain name. If it is possible to change the domain name, then it means we can use it. One of my mid-term plan is to also get a website specifically for the Ghana Premier League. Now that website will channel out content from the Premier League. I spoke about highlights, I spoke about preview, I spoke about review. I also intend partnering some TV stations for us to get Premier League bias shows on that website. So I intend speaking to multimedia and other TV stations for that. We just have to be visible. That content we churn out week in, week out must be consumed by the public. The only way to get that done is to put it out. And so, yes, I have seen the site, and I intend speaking to the president and then Alex Asante for us to know exactly what we can do.
So now let's talk about overall things the KPIs that have been given to you by your employers. What have they asked you to do?
Well, the first thing is to make sure that we lead the news trends so that we don't become reactive, but rather we become proactive. Now, the only way you can be proactive is to lead. And so I look at the structure of the Football Association, and we've got tons of departments. We have the technical department, we have the administrative structure, our national teams are in camp, we've got products, i.e. Women's League, Division 1, FA Cup, the Premier League, both men and women. And so I don't see why we should lack content, honestly speaking. The main actors of the game are there begging for exposure. We have to propagate that. We have to project that. We need to make them known to the public. And so that is the first thing I have been tasked to do. Again, I think we lack numbers, or the staff strength is not good enough. A whole department of a National Football Association, the staff strength is not even up to 10. And even that, the staff members amongst this group is, I think, 4, plus myself. So there is a need for us to beef up. Immediately, the FA is handicapped, so we cannot employ immediately. So I have been asked to look at building a team from, maybe the various institutions, and it is something that I will take seriously going forward. Again, they expect us to try as much as possible to build a cordial relationship with the sports media. It's also very important. One of the things that worried or affected the progress of the erstwhile administration is the fact that the relationship between the FA and the sports media at some point became, very fragile. And so we need to build a very good relationship with the sports media. That is the only way to get them on board. That is the only way to get them along. And so it is also something that I really, really want to, take seriously. I think one of the issues is that we must also project our workers or our staff. Now, we have how many national teams? We have 3 female national teams and 4 male national teams. They have coaches. Some of these coaches, the public don't even know them. How do we make sure that the public get to know these coaches, work on their profile, get the coaches to speak to the press, find a way to project them is something that I also want to do. Again, they have spoken about the fact that we don't have to be Black Stars bias. We must give equal attention to all the products of the FA. So I think these are the 4 main issues that I will handle in the coming days as my KPIs.
Exciting days ahead for you, but let me just digress a bit and come back. I want to brief this one briefly. Did you see this one coming? Being appointed the communication director of the Ghana FA?
Honestly speaking, I had friends who would call and ask, "Hey, what is your boss doing? Is he not going to give you something to do?" But personally, I was overjoyed about the fact that I played a role in electing a president for the Football Association. It wasn't easy. We toured the corners of this country just to speak to delegates and speak to Ghanaians and give them reasons to believe in us. And so if in the end it paid off, then clearly that means we did a good job. So I was excited by the fact that, yes, I played a role in getting Ketokweku elected. I did not make it a point or believe at some point that by hook or crook I needed to be given a job. I believed in the decisions of the executive council. I left everything in their hands until 2 weeks ago when the ESCO summoned me to a meeting or invited me to a meeting and told me that they want me to come on board and help the communications department. I think at the beginning, my role was not clearly defined. But once Tamimu left the seat, then it became obvious that I would have to come and head the department. So that's how it happened. It wasn't like by hook or crook. It wasn't like something that I was craving for. But once it became obvious that I would be useful, then I began psyching myself and put myself in a good position to get ready for the task ahead.
So would you say because of the role you played in the election process, that's why you got a job?
I will say that the president believes in me. I will say that I have worked with him for 5 years, and he knows I understand his way and his style of work, and he knows that I am someone who can also bring quality to the work at the FA. I don't want to think that is because of the role I played, because I wasn't the only person who worked in that team. The Game Changer team had a lot of people, but I don't want to believe that all of them have been given appointments. My brother Aminu Shadow, at the moment, does not work for the FA. Derek Okreku and Co were all members of the Game Changer team, but they are not occupying any official position at the FA. So it's about competence, it's about belief, and it's about the fact that maybe the ESCO thinks I have something in me that can be useful.
Then this brings me to the point where I will ask the question that was thrown to the president. Just offer us a clarification where he said, I cannot win an election and work with my enemies.
Well, I cannot win an election and work with my enemies. It means there are certain key positions where I want people that believe in my vision to occupy. That's how I understood it. Because sometimes, if you don't get people who understand your vision, who believe in your vision, who knows your work ethics, it's difficult to change them over time. So, and we are mature, we are adults. There are those who are easily mendable, and there are those who take quite some time to get used to a change or the direction you want to go. So my understanding is that, yes, you cannot win an election and bring enemies to work with you. And it is simple. Sometimes execution, speed, delivery, decision making, and all of that become very, very important. And you need people you can trust to work out your plan or to work out your magical plan. I think that this administration has been very good as regards bringing on board people who did not even believe in the vision of the president. For instance, the campaign manager of George Afriye is the vice chairman of the Black Starlets Management Committee also. Fred Popo, who stood for the election, was a candidate. Is a member of the Black Stars Management Committee. The longest serving administrative manager of Tema Youth, Palmer's team, is also serving on the Women's League Board. I am talking about Jerry Dugbate. Now, these people, these names I have mentioned, are known, say, opponents, or were known opponents during the campaign. But today, they are contributing their quota to the development of the game. So I think we are overstretching the issue. I have read George Afriye's press release. I felt it was unfortunate. I believe that he has built a certain relationship with the president and could have done it off the cuff, but he decided to come public. I respect his decision, but I mean, I don't want to believe that this man is a person who is vindictive and will not work with people who belong to his opponent's camp and what have you. It is just a passing thing, and we just have to brush it off and move on.
He was taken out of context?
I think so. They are placing premium on the word enemy, and that is why there is a whole fuss out of this. But I think it is not any damaging issue.
Is it too early for me to ask about partnerships the FA have? Let's say the current status of the xylophone cash, current status of GMPC, current status of Puma. Is it too early to ask about those things?
I think the president was in Germany about a month ago, and he was at the headquarters of Puma. They want to extend the deal with the FA. I think it was extended during President Yantechi's time, and so it is winding down. The Puma has expressed interest in extending it.
It rather expired in August 2018. The Puma deal expired in August 2018.
So they have expressed interest in renewing the deal. I think the president has made the ESCO to speak to them about it, but there hasn't been any firm decision on that. About xylophone cash, it is a legal issue. So the legal department of the FA and the general secretary has taken up the issue. GN Bank did GNPC. Okay, GNPC only stepped in during the AFCON, the 2019 AFCON, because they had abrogated the contract with the ex-Wild administration. Currently, there is no official relationship between the FA and GNPC.
But the last time Sika Kuno was being unveiled, GNPC logo were behind.
I think that was just for the purposes of branding. Truth of the matter is that GNPC has expressed interest in coming on board. Now, they also want to help the FA president carry out his vision of providing boreholes at the training grounds of Premier League, Division 1 and Women's League clubs. Now, one of the things GNPC as a company have spoken about is that they are ready to use or part with some of their CSO to support the Football Association. Now, part of that may go to the Black Stars and part of that may go to other social interventions. But as we speak, no contract has been signed.
Any idea how many years they want to partner the FA?
I am not sure, because I think discussions are still ongoing and nothing firm, no firm decision has come up yet.